So here it goes, part 2 of a little bit about my awakening, what caused it and how it happened. I reveal it all. Today in this part 2, I want to share with you when the shift started happening, the investigation, and then when I finally woke up. Thank you for watching part 1. If you haven't, I will include it down below in the comments and put it at the end of this video as well. So in the part 1, I talked about the anxiety and fear that I suffered. Some people left comments down below of how the trials and tribulations we go through, the suffering that we go through, can be the gateway or the door opening to our awakening, and I could not agree anymore. I believe that somehow, I truly do believe that somehow some of us are called back to notice our true nature. Some of us will never touch it, understand it, or see it. And for some people, that's okay. But I do believe some of us are called back to see this truth. And I believe that my fear and anxiety was a calling back home to notice what I truly am and what I am truly not. So like I said, part 1 talked about the fear, the anxiety, the life I lived in stories that I believed were my life, the world of thought that I operated from every day of every minute of as long as I can remember. So finally, the fear and anxiety became enough. I didn't know where to look. I tried remedies, I tried solutions. But one thing I noticed is me and my family and I, we went on a trip up north. It was quiet, it was peaceful, there was a lot of nature. And I noticed a peace that I hadn't felt in a long time. I noticed a calm feeling. I noticed my fear, anxiety, and tension in the body completely subside while I was there with them. It felt like at that time, life had slowed down. I didn't want to go back to where we live. I didn't want to go back to my job. I didn't want to leave this. So for a while, I continued to ask my girlfriend, do you want to go back? Do you want to go back on a vacation, trips? Do you want to go back up north? Because I felt like that was where I was able to touch peace. I was able to feel peace. I remember that very deeply. But what was really happening was this place that I thought was giving me my peace, this place that I thought was giving me my healing and freedom, was really showing me the gateway to my true nature. When all of the thoughts and the stories stopped, when all of the narratives stopped, when all of the identification stopped, so did the tension and anxiety and fear. I couldn't put 2 and 2 together yet because I was still living from my head in this material world as Alex. I didn't understand. I thought it was something outside of me, a place that I had to go to get my peace. I tried meditating. I tried meditating as Alex. Now, if you know anything about meditation or the spiritual journey, meditation is not necessary to awaken. You can do it, and it's fine, but it isn't necessary. And sometimes most of us make the mistake of meditating, trying to achieve or arrive or unlock something as our separate ego identity that we believe we are. So we meditate just like we try to go somewhere or get something to try to bring us peace. And it will never work that way. I like to really say, you will never break out of the matrix from within the matrix, finding something inside of the matrix itself or inside of the material world. I did that for a while, and it became stressful. I tried to make a meditation schedule, and I knew that something didn't feel right. Meditation, the practice of meditation, was not happening naturally. It was happening forcefully to try to force peace again. Until I stumbled upon Rupert Spira. And something about what he was speaking about pulled me in. I didn't understand it at first, but I felt it. I knew that he was pointing to something greater. But the more he talked and the more he spoke, I knew that this greater thing, that's not really a thing, was something we all were, that we all had access to. Now, it didn't reveal itself right away, so I continued to investigate. I took what he said and I explored it. I explored awareness. I explored consciousness. But you must be careful, because just like meditation, you can explore this in the hopes of arriving or unlocking or gaining or acquiring something. And it happened a few times. But I just never left this space. I knew there was something here, something to be seen, not to be acquired, but something to be seen and felt again. I never left this space. I didn't pick up on everything every teacher said. I didn't believe people like a religion. I simply continued to try to look in my direct experience. And yes, there was times when I would try to remember things people said that made me feel good, made me feel peace. But those things that you try to remember will never last, because you cannot remember things to know you, to know your true self. But like I said, I just never left this space. This space sucked me in, it pulled me in. It felt like it was everything I needed, and it was. And once again, I say Rupert Spira because it is the teacher that was the strongest for me to see. But once again, a teacher is not needed necessarily to wake up. It helps because they can point you. If they are pointing you honestly, if they are pointing you towards your direct experience, then a teacher can be beneficial. But anything that a teacher states should not be a doctrine or dogma, because then it becomes religion. It isn't something that you have to believe, that is a theory of their own or an idea. A teacher should point you to your direct experience, give you insight to your direct experience in many different ways. Until one day, I looked aggressively. I say aggressively because I put all of my focus and attention into my direct experience. And guys, I don't know if you were watching this video expecting me to start oozing light beams from my chest and hands and transforming. But when I share with you this awakening and how it really happened, it's really not extremely exciting to somebody watching a video. Now, what was felt and what was seen was very exciting and profound and powerful and absolutely liberating, but it may not seem like it for you. I looked in my direct experience, and this is where I come up with for my channel, excuse me as my feet hurt a little. Oh, this is where I come up with for the channel the notion and the structure of the pillars of truth, the 3 pillars of truth that are the foundation to the truth itself. I looked in my direct experience. I looked in my direct experience and I asked myself, what is all of this and where is all of this? And the answer I came up with was the first pillar of truth: consciousness, awareness. Everything was here, and everything only was ever known to exist in pure awareness, pure consciousness. All is consciousness. That's where I formed the first pillar of truth. Secondly, we are the eternal now. I continued to look into my direct experience, and I seen, at first, I didn't see that we are actually the eternal now. I seen, so let me phrase it to you the way that I actually saw it then. I seen a present moment that was shared by everybody, always, no matter how far and wide you looked across the world, that nobody was given a different moment or a different timeline, which it sometimes may feel like, than I was. So I started to see that everything was consciousness, awareness, and everyone shared the exact same eternal now, present moment. And then I actually seen deeper that it isn't that we are sharing it, it is that we are all it. And the third one, the third pillar of truth, is we are all one. We are all of the same source. And I looked into my direct experience and I seen this consciousness. I seen this consciousness directly, without a thought, without a theory or a conclusion. The one source that is everything, seeming to be separate in all of our individual perspectives, like a play or like a show. And we all are seeming to be living separate and individual lives. But it all comes back to the one source. It is like all of the different TV shows happening at the same time on the same exact TV. I can't see your TV show, you can't see mine, but it is happening at the same time on the same screen of pure knowing awareness, consciousness, and that leads to the third pillar of truth, as we are all one. Because there cannot be anything separate. There cannot be any separation when this is the case. That is how I woke up. That is how I woke up. I looked into my direct experience. I said, what is undeniable? I said, what can I say is reality for everybody without having to think about it, without having to believe it, but actually seeing it? And that is why it is called truth, because it is unchanging, it is unmoving, it is always the nature of life, of reality, of everything, no matter how invested we are in our own TV show, our separate experience. My feet are killing me, my ankles are, so please forgive me. I gotta try to get comfortable. That is how I woke up. You know what? I'm actually gonna make a part 3 to this, and in the third part, I'm gonna talk about what happened after I woke up. Did it last? Did I see it this way always? Did I struggle? So that is what I'm going to share in the next part. But this is what I wanted to share here with you. What led me to this, how it happened, and then what? Then what? So thank you guys for listening to my personal journey. I really appreciate it. And once again, I encourage you to share anything down below. Share your thoughts, your feelings, share some of your journey. So we like to hear from you all. And thank you all for watching this video. Thank you all for being here. And I'll have much more videos to come soon. So please give the video a like if you enjoyed it. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Thank you.